Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi participated on Thursday in the 22nd summit of the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, the COMESA, in the Zambian capital, Lusaka. The summit, in which 21 leaders and presidents participated, focused on means of boosting development efforts and the economic integration among the bloc member states. This is in addition to activating the partnership with the private sector in the COMESA countries to push the industry, economic variety, trade and investments. During its year-long presidency of the COMESA in 2021, Egypt sought to deepen industrial integration and enhance investments in the infrastructure, in addition to fostering regional supply chains among the bloc member states. Addressing the summit, President Sisi extended appreciation to Zambian President for the generous hospitality. He expressed his happiness with the convention of the summit under the slogan of COMESA Economic Integration, focusing on the green investment, added value and tourism. He said Egypt was honored to preside over the COMESA during the past 2 years, a critical time that witnessed important developments on the international and regional levels. President Sisi said the COMESA witnessed great developments through past 2 years despite the challenges. The President expressed gratitude for the preparation and organization of the COMESA 22nd Summit. President Sisi reviewed the achievements of Egypt during its presidency of the COMESA. Most prominent were working on economic integration and enhancing peace and security in order to boost the prosperity of the COMESA member states. Sisi said that trade relations between Egypt and the COMESA member states were estimated as $3.4 billion. He also underscored that Egypt is keen on encouraging more investments to the COMESA member states. He pointed that Egypt was focusing on the sector of infrastructure through pushing linking projects among the bloc members. Most remarkable was the project of linking Victoria Lake and the Mediterranean and Tanzania's dam, which is one of the most prominent projects in the African continent to increase the electric energy of 2.5 gigawatts. Sisi said that Egypt suggested to establish a health committee for the COMESA countries. He also stressed that the countries should support Sudan to achieve peace and security on its territories, pointing that Egypt has exerted great efforts with the international partners to achieve stability in Sudan. He added that Egypt continue hosting the Sudanese. At the summit, Egypt handed down to the COMESA rotating presidency to Zambia. To shed more light on the COMESA 22nd Summit, we are joined over the phone by Engineer Mustafa Wali, former Deputy of Industry Federation. Good afternoon to you, Dr. Wali. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Sir, how do you see the most important point tackled by the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi before the 22nd Summit of the COMESA, on top of which he stressed that the trade between Egypt and the COMESA member state increased to reach $3.4 billion? Yes, sir.
Hello, you hear me?
Yes, we hear you properly.
Fine. I think, as usual,
yes,
the presence of President Sisi in such meetings, especially in Africa, on such level and at such time, is again a proof, a very important proof, how important Egypt to Africa and how important Africa to Egypt. And this always we should think of it as we are the northern gate to Africa in everything when it comes to economy, when it comes to agriculture, and industry, you name it.
Yeah.
And the more we are there, especially on such level, the more that we are proving and giving the example that what is the most important role that Egypt can play in such situation, especially now in such tough time all over the world. Yeah.
Yes. In his speech yet before the summit, the President underscored that Egypt is keen on encouraging more investments. How do you see, sir, the efforts that should be exerted in order to increase the level of trade and investment between Egypt and the COMESA member states?
Uh,
Yes?
you mean when it comes to investment? You are talking
Yes.
investment now.
Yes, indeed.
Well, for sure, Africa at large, and including Egypt, is always will stay for some time as green field for even for green economy, for a green investment or for green economy investment. And this we should care about it, and we do our best actually to be the leader in this, because we actually should have this role because of what we have been doing and what we are witnessing, especially in Egypt and our relation with the world when it comes to this kind of economy. When it comes to the investment, you see that Africa for us, with all, especially we as member of COMESA, and even we are the initiator of the idea and the development of COMESA, we have the potential of more than 600 million people with 21 countries, with all the varieties from the east of Africa, which when it comes to the resources available there, the human resources and material resources, there is a hell of a potential that we can develop together with African people. We can develop, and actually we can reach fantastic records when it comes to the growth rate in economy at large, or the GDP for all the African countries, especially in COMESA.
Yes.
And I hope that the world will help us in this. But when the world is okay, settled more or less after this tough time which we are going through, because I'm sure that there will be a great attention and care for developing countries, especially in Africa.
Indeed. Sir, the summit, the 22nd summit for the COMESA, is held under the slogan COMESA Economic Integration, focusing on green investment, added value, and tourism. How do you see these three very important investment, added value, and tourism? How do you see the importance of more involvement for Africa in the field of green investment and to increase the level of tourism in the African continent as well?
As you see, I was mentioning this when it comes to the green economy.
Yes.
And we covered it briefly in our discussion now.
Yes.
When we get to the other thing, investment at large, because of course there is the industrial investment and it's the bilateral relations on country-to-country levels and on the whole level of the COMESA and even other communities like SADC, for example. A lot can be done in this case. I'm very, very optimistic that the only thing what we need now, or what the world needs now, is to have what we call, a peaceful and steady, relaxed situation where people can bring and get and exert the best they have, all the people of the world. And we are part of the world.
Yes. So, about the increasing the tourism exchange between the COMESA member states, how do we work on this field in particular? How to increase the level of exchange for the tourism industry among the different African states in general and the COMESA member states in particular?
Fine. Tourism in general, tourism is always an indicator, especially when it is prosperous, when it is going in the right direction, increasing, and the stability of tourism and the exchange of people going and coming. This is a very important gesture that the world is okay, or at least the destination where people are moving around are peaceful and is okay. This is more or less is not that as it should be 100%, but at least when we have this, because it will not be only tourism for tourism, it will be exchanging the experiences, expertise, exchanging business, and all this will be under tourism. That's my belief always about tourism. Of course, it needs people to go and see and for example, we have this.
Yes. Finally, sir, the President also mentioned the importance of establishing a health committee for the COMESA member states. How do you see the importance of that, and to what extent the COMESA member states could benefit from the Egyptian expertise regarding the field of health in particular, and the Egyptian experience in the elimination of virus C?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You are talking health now, the issue of health, right? Am I
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Because yeah, fine. Well, right now I know that there will be even maybe currently there is a second edition of the what you call African health conference or exhibition, something like that. You know, I have seen and I know.
Yes.
But also during the COVID and during the last 2 years, Egypt have done its best, you know, to help Africa when it comes to the health side, you know, I mean, fighting this COVID-19.
Yes.
And always, you know, the health issue it will be important for the people to get together, and it could be, and we could be the leader in this case, by the way,
Yes.
subject to our experience as a country in the health field.
Indeed, the engineer Mustafa Wali, former deputy of Industries Federation, thank you so much for your precious input. And addressing the 22nd summit of the COMESA Zambian President, Hakainde Hichilema expressed greetings to President Sisi for successful work during the COMESA presidency. He expressed his hopes that the COMESA meetings would push the wheel of development and boost the trade among the COMESA member states. Hichilema urged pushing joint work that was retreated during the past years due to the corona pandemic and instability in several spots in the African continent. Hichilema also said that the COMESA is keen on maintaining independence, security and peace in all the African countries. He added that Africa has a lot of initiatives and agendas to achieve development in Africa. Upon his arrival to Lusaka, where the 22nd COMESA summit kicked off on Thursday, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met with his Zambian counterpart, Hakainde Hichilema. The talks tackled bilateral relations and regional developments. More details in the following report.
President Fattah al-Sisi met with the Zambian counterpart, President Fattah al-Sisi met with the Zambian counterpart, Hakainde Hichilema, ahead of the 22nd COMESA summit that kicked off on Thursday in Zambia's capital, Lusaka. Hichilema hailed the achievements that took place under the presidency of Egypt of COMESA during the last period. The Zambian president stressed his country's keenness on developing relations with Egypt for more joint cooperation, continuing talks with Egypt on issues and challenges that face Africa, especially in light of Egypt's leading role under leadership of President Sisi on African level and Egypt's efforts in boosting development, maintaining peace and security in the African continent. For his part, President Sisi asserted Egypt is looking forward to enhancing bilateral relations with Zambia and activating joint cooperation files, especially increasing trade exchange and exploring investment opportunities to achieve mutual interests. This is in addition to continuing to offer all means of support, build capabilities of Zambians and coordination regarding files of region and the African continent. President Sisi also expressed his wishes of success for Zambian President during the presidency of COMESA to continue joint cooperation during the next phase. The meeting also tackled means of boosting joint cooperation in different domains and developing economic relations and trade exchange, in addition to efforts of economic development in Zambia, especially in the field of infrastructure with the help of Egyptian companies' experience in the field. This is in addition to enhancing cooperation in the domain of agriculture, livestock, fisheries and health. The talks also tackled regional developments and most important files in the agenda of COMESA, especially efforts to achieve economic integration and continental cohesion. Moreover, the two sides agreed on the importance of continuing working on achieving developmental aims in different fields that are included in African Development Agenda 2063. This is in addition to boosting African mechanisms for reconstruction and development after struggles, in addition to combating terrorism and supporting security and stability in the African continent.